Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer online action. Today I've got a special treat for you all. Yes indeed, we are here playing as the Warriors of Chaos. This is actually a 2v2. I am paired up with the one and only BlackIron, and we're facing off against Turin and ItalianSpartacus. So definitely in for a good time, and this is indeed an all random generated cast. So what that means is all four armies are randomly generated. There's a button in the army selection screen to press that you can randomly generate an army, and so we all agreed to do so. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the very unusual army compositions. For my force, I've got a front line of Chosen with Great Weapons and Chosen with Halberds. These guys have got some XP chevrons, so very interesting. I also got the Soul of Damnation Hellcannon, which is going to be a decent pick. A weird spawn as well. We've also got one group of Chaos Trolls. My Lord is a Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Fire. We've also got an Exalted Hero, to back him up. In addition, I've got one Chaos Feral Manticore up in the air. We've also got a couple units of Hounds hanging around here somewhere. Looks like they're in the forest over here. And we've also got this unit of, Marauder Horsemen, just with the regular Javelins over here. Going to be applying some ranged pressure. For BlackIron, he also got a Hellcannon. This is just the regular one. He's got a group of Chaos Spawn, Halberds, Chaos Warriors with Halberds, and another Chaos Spawn on the other flank. Looks like he also got some Marauder Horsemen here. He's got one group of Hounds here, and one Marauder Horseman with throwing axes here. One group of Chaos Chariots, a group of Chaos Knights, one Exalted Hero, and his army is led by Archaon the Never Chosen. So very, very good stuff. He's looking all kinds of angry. So very fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Norscan army builds and see what the Chaos Gods have foisted upon them. So we can definitely see with the Wintertooth player here, I'm going to go ahead and put it in pause for just a second while we look at things. Got a unit of Famir Warriors with Great Weapons, Marauders, Marauder Champions, unit of Norscan Trolls, looks like two Norscan Trolls, Marauder Chieftain on a Mammoth, one unit of Marauder Hunters with Javelins. We've got a Skinwolf Werekin here in the forest, a Frostworm with one Silver Chevron, very interesting. And it looks like over here also for Wintertooth we've got the Beasts of Tashnar and Marauder Horsemasters. So very interesting stuff. For the regular Norscan player, we've got the Beasts of Tashnar as well, Norscan Warhounds, two units of Marauder Horsemen, a Feral Manticore. We've got Norscan Ice Trolls here, Icehorn Marauders, and Marauders with Great Weapons up front, one Norscan Giant. We've got another unit of Norscan Trolls here, Wulfric the Wanderer on a Chariot. We've got Marauder Hunters with the throwing axes, and one unit of Armored Skinwolves. I believe I've gotten everything. I may have missed a thing here or there, but definitely in for a good time. So not any kind of meta picks, and all of our armies have fairly tiny front lines, but it's going to be in for a good time. You can see a nice skirmish phase developing over here. Our Chaos Warhounds getting beat back by the Norscan Warhounds, and these Marauder Horsemen taking a ton of fire from the opposing Marauder Horsemen. This unit as well getting terrified off by the Manticore, so not looking too good for BlackIron so far. I'm going to be bringing my forces up to kind of form a line here, and both of our Hell Cannons are firing into this main blob here to try and do as much damage as possible to their infantry. I'm bringing around my Marauder Horsemen to do some skirmishing out on the flanks. It's going to be a good time. We do need to be careful. I've just discovered now the Skinwolf Werekin, so definitely something to be aware of there. But you can see this unit of Marauders already almost broken just from the Hell Cannons, so that's definitely a good get there. In the front line here, if you can even call it a front line, BlackIron's getting charged by these Beasts of Tashnar. They're actually going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to the Chaos Spawn because they're low armor, and the bonus versus large of the Beasts of Tashnar, let's see, looks like it's actually a bonus versus large of 14, so that's fairly significant. Definitely going to be hitting hard against those Chaos Spawn. He also dropped in the Manticore there. BlackIron's going to be responding with these Warriors with Halberds, the other Chaos Spawn, and he's also bringing in the Chaos Knights, which will be able to do quite a bit of damage to the Beasts of Tashnar there as they pull away. This unit of Marauder Horsemen getting caught by some Hounds, very unfortunate. Over here, these Marauder Horsemen of mine taking some nice damage from the Marauder Javelins, so they're going to need to get out of there quick. Over here in this engagement, the Famir Warriors with Great Weapons have gotten in here. However, they are matched up against two units of Chosen, as well as some Chaos Spawn, the Weird Spawn, who are going to be sundering their armor. Both these units of Chosen have armor piercing. One of them's got anti-large. And so you can see this unit of Trolls already being routed off because of their low leadership. The Famir Warriors is taking a bit of damage there. Getting rear charged by these Norscan Trolls over here is a bit unfortunate. However, this Marauder Chieftain has taken a bit of damage so far. However, he's mostly healthy. We're going to be dispatching these two units of Hounds to to get in here on these Marauder Hunters. And over here, the Manticore is going to be having an aerial battle with this Frostworm here, so very fun stuff. Go ahead and kick it back into full speed here. For my allies' line here, again, not even really a line, but this big blob is going to be kind of an even trade. The Chaos Spawn will be able to hold for some time there, and these Warriors with Halberd should be able to do well up against this Manticore and some of these other units. The Giant is definitely a concern. You can see a Flame Storm going off and hopefully routing off those Marauders there. The Marauder Hunters getting cleaned up by the Hounds. Very nice for me. Over here, this Marauder Chieftain is in here against a lot of these armor-piercing anti-large units, so that's a bit of a trouble for him. The Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Fire, and the Exalted Hero are in here doing some damage to the Famir Warriors. Looks like they're broken already. And this fight up in the air is actually going to be pretty even. I'm going to drop a Flaming Sword of Ruin and Cascading Fire Cloak here in just a moment on this Pharaoh Manticore, and that'll definitely help swing that fight in my favor. We're just continuing to chase down any routing units we can with these Norscan Warhounds. And over here, Wulfric is trying to stay away from Archaon, not wanting to get tangled up in there too much. But one thing to note about the Marauder Lords on the Chariot is they're actually a little bit broken. They have a 0 attack interval, so they'll do a lot more damage than they should. It's hopefully something that CA will address soon, but you can see the Hell Cannon there doing a bit of friendly fire to the Norscan Warhounds, but no big deal. We're going to get this group of Warhounds chasing off all these routing units here, which is going to be very, very good. Some nice value there. The Chaos Chariot still fairly healthy. These Chaos Knights about 20 to 30% HP. Norscan Giant, I've parked my Marauder Horsemen over here, and they're going to be pitching some javelins at him, helping to do some damage at range, and you can see actually doing a bit of damage there. Archaon as well, giving some nice splash damage there. The Halberds, Chaos Warriors with Halberds will help as well. These Skin Wolves not being microed here in the center, they definitely need to be getting over here into this fight. Over here on my fight, we're just kind of getting a bit blobbed up here. Nice Sea Fang going off, but mostly able to deal fairly effectively with most of these units. These Marauder Champions are about going down. The Skinwolf Werekin as well is taking quite a bit of damage, as well as the Lord here. However, my Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Fire, is taking quite a bit of damage as well, and he's going to be getting out of here, getting terrified off by the Mammoth. A bit unfortunate, but the Exalted Hero's hanging in. He's still fairly healthy. So you can see up here in the aerial battle, this Manticore is going to be able to see off this much larger Frostworm, which is definitely good for me. You can see it's down to about 790 HP and dropping rapidly, so very nice. For my opponents, they've gotten back onto our Hell Cannons and shut both of them down, which is very, very good play. This Manticore here is getting fairly low, fighting up against the Exalted Hero of BlackIron. Over here, these Skin Wolves still fairly healthy, regenerating, accompanying, Wulfric. That way he doesn't get sniped out. The Giant, unfortunately, getting routed off by those Marauder Horsemen. I did have to move them out of the way because they were in a skirmish engagement with Marauder Horsemasters, which is not going to be good for them. But we're just trying to keep the Hounds routed off at this point and really just capitalize on this kind of small advantage that we've gained here. These two units of Chosen are still fairly healthy. We've also got some Trolls that are in here regenerating with 11 unit models. The Weird Spawn are about down, but my Lord, I believe, did get killed by the Mammoth, or maybe he's still around. I think he got killed, but we're being held together somewhat by the Exalted Hero here, and he's going to be seeing off these Norscan Ice Trolls. The Manticore as well, having survived that engagement with the Frostworm, is going to be able to drop some nice terror in, be able to see off a lot of these Famir and the Trolls and other units that are weak to terror. And right now I'm just kind of zerging this big infantry ball, trying to take down that Mammoth. It's really one of the main threats that my opponent has left on my opponents have left on the battlefield. This Giant still routing off. Over here, this Exalted Hero getting into these Marauder Horsemen, very good for us. These Norscan Warhounds faced up against the Chaos Warhounds. It's going to be a fairly even trade, but I think I should be able to carry that. Over here, we'll get in for some nice cinematic action as this Mammoth has taken a substantial amount of damage, and the Chosen with the Halberds and the great weapons are going to be great at kind of standing in here, getting rear-charged by the Maws of Savagery, or sorry, the regular Skin Wolves. But again, the anti-large armor piercing from the Halberds, with the Chosen with Halberds, will be very, very good here. They have good defensive stats as well, with 62 melee defense, so they're going to be nice and tanky. The Chosen with great weapons as well, doing fairly well. 50 attack, 48 melee defense is decent. However, their morale is a bit shaky right now. The Norscan Ice Trolls going to be taking a bit of damage. Getting 2 casters with the Lore of Fire was definitely nice, because then we can drop Flaming Sword of Ruin and some other flaming damage spells to help see off a lot of these Trolls and, Ice Wolves and other regenerating units. So very, very nice for us. We could drop in the Manticore to get some terror, dealing a bit of damage to these Norscan Ice Trolls as well. Hopefully we can terror route them off. But you can see the Marauder Chieftain coming back in. It's very, very close still. The bounce power is slightly in our favor, but, you know, definitely could come back if we get a major tear route here. You can see these Chosen with great weapons getting tear routed off. It's really, really rough. My Manticore also goes down to the Mammoth, so that's really rough. Wulfric's still very healthy, however Archaon still at about 60% HP. My Exalted Hero is coming back to the battle after having overchased on those Norscan Ice Trolls, so he's going to be able to do a bit of damage as well. The Skin Wolves are down to only 13 unit models, about 20% of their HP, so they should be dropping a few more unit models here soon against these Halberds. They're definitely going to want to try and pull away, but this Exalted Hero here, I believe he did come with the Hellfire Sword, which is very, very nice. Gives him a bit of flaming damage, and with the Kindle Flame from Archaon and the flaming damage, he'll be able to do quite a bit of damage to these Skin Wolves. You can see they're down now to 10 unit models, and actually wavering. There goes another unit model there, and it's going to be tough. Tough for the Norskins to come back from this. These Norscan Ice Trolls also getting routed off there, and the Hounds were able to rack up a substantial amount of kills. This unit of Hounds just kind of sitting over here right now. But this Exalted Hero continuing to chase on the Marauder Horsemen. The enemies do have a Feral Manticore still up in the air, which we're going to have to watch out for, but getting a nice shattering over here. Archaon taking quite a bit of damage from Wulfric there, getting chased around, but my Exalted Hero is going to come in and try and help out. Getting smacked in the back by a troll, but, you know, he'll be able to do a bit of damage in return. About 60% HP now. You can see Wulfric's taking a bit of damage as well, and that Mammoth just keeps coming back from routing, only 685 HP, so we're definitely going to need to take that thing down. For now, our opponents are just trying to regroup over here, and we're just continuing to chase with this Exalted Hero, getting in some attack animations there. He's going to charge in and get some nice damage done on Wulfric the Wanderer there. Pops standard die to help defend. We're also getting in the Hounds here to just kind of absorb the charge and surround, get that nice rear attack penalty, and now here come the remaining Chosen with Halberds. They're going to do very, very well against these Trolls and other large units, so, you know, the Chosen are typically not a unit I would ever recommend, but the Chosen with Halberds in a random generated scenario like this, potentially very good. You can see Archaon actually strikes down the Mammoth, so very, very good for us. That's going to help keep the balance of power in our favor. And you can see now most of the Norscan forces are routing off. Wulfric himself is getting very low, about 40% HP now. And it's looking very, very tight, but definitely winnable for the forces of Chaos here. You can see this Feral Manticore is coming down onto my ally's Exalted Hero. The Exalted Hero hopefully doesn't tear route off. His morale is very, very low, but one or two attacks here and should kill the Manticore. It looks like the terror actually does take hold. My Exalted Hero, unfortunately, is routing off, just now rallying, and we're going to be bringing him over here onto the Manticore, trying to strike it down. So very, very tight right now still. Wulfric is about 30% HP still. Just continuing to get chased around by this huge blob of Chosen with Halberds and great weapons. Over here, yep, the Manticore, my ally's Exalted Hero, it looks like actually came back and strikes the killing blow here on this Manticore. So another monster down, and we are now going to win on army losses. So very, very fun battle. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. A bit of chaos, pun intended, but yeah, very fun. I love the random generated casts. You know, a lot of fun to do, especially when all four of you, or, you know, 2 or 4, whatever, are using the same rules. That way, you know, you all kind of either get screwed over or you get some good picks. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the army breakdowns here. Since a lot of these units are not units you would typically see, we can kind of talk about their uses. For BlackIron, we'll start with him. Archaon holding out into the end was absolutely clutch. That definitely helped hold our leadership together, and if he had gone down, I think we would have had some major leadership problems. The Chaos Spawn were a bit of a tough pick. They'll do well against the unarmored infantry of Norsca, but not much else. The Warhounds as well and the Marauder Horsemen getting killed pretty early on was rough for BlackIron, but the Chaos Knights getting 94 kills was pretty good. I didn't see the Chariots doing a whole lot of work, but, you know, they can be decent. Hell Cannon did some nice work as well, but Archaon being super clutch in the late game there. For my forces, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Fire didn't get a whole lot done. He kind of got killed fairly early on, which is unfortunate, but this Exalted Hero is definitely a late game MVP. You can see my units of Hounds that were chasing down those routing units racked up a ton of kills, 174 and 150 respectively, so excellent. I would definitely say these Hounds get the game ball for this one. The Chosen as well, being a decent pick here, being able to hold out against all this kind of monsters and infantry and everything. The Chosen with Halberds especially, a very, very nice pick here. Definitely glad I got them. 87 kills on the Soul of Damnation as well is decent. It cost quite a bit, but, you know, it's alright. For ItalianSpartacus, he was the one with the Marauder Chieftain up on the Mammoth. So his Mammoth did get some good work done, killed that Chaos Lord, and just a bit tough in the end there, having lost that. This Frostworm as well was a very expensive kind of pick, and it didn't end up paying off very well for him because it did go down to a Manticore, which is significantly cheaper, so a bit unfortunate. The Famir War with great weapons had the potential to do well, but getting matched up on those chosen with halberds was really, really rough for them. Same thing with these Norscan trolls here. The Beasts of Tashnor did some okay work in the early phases, but in the late game they got a little bit beaten down. And the Marauder Horsemasters as well, 30 kills, decent, but you probably want more if you're going to bring them. Of course, not that he had a choice. Again, all these armies are randomly generated, so... for Turin, let's go ahead and take a look. Wulfric was very, very good. You guys, as I said, on that chariot, he's a little bit broken with a 0 attack interval, but still getting a lot of kills, and a very nice play there. These infantry mostly got slaughtered by the hounds. Once they got terror routed off, they pretty much just got put in a trash can. Norscan Ice Trolls doing fairly well, 67 kills, only 15 for the regular trolls. 62 on these Beasts of Tashnor and 80 on these Norscan Warhounds. This is very, very good. They definitely got into some routing units and chased them down. 58 on the Marauder Horsemasters is decent. Only 18 on the Norscan Giant was pretty tough. The ranged fire he was taking from that Marauder Horseman was a really rough situation for him. 47 on the Armored Skin Wolves. They just couldn't do enough in the late game to really pull the battle back. And that Manticore getting 19 kills is okay. Getting some nice terror routing in, I'm sure, and a very useful unit overall for the cost. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching that. It's something a bit unique and different. I had some more vampire replays queued up, so I wanted to throw this in here to give you guys a little bit of extra variety. So let me know what you think. I've got a couple more randomly generated battles with these guys coming up. We'll be releasing those over the next few days. So stay tuned for more. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.